Hey everybody, got a quick little video for you today. I actually already started the job, and I was like, dang, this would make a pretty good video. This would be handy for somebody. So if you'll accept my apologies, I've already started the job, and it's a Brisk Air 2 Dometic air conditioner. Customer complaint is it hears a hum but it ain't blowing, so that's why I showed up today. And let's get started. Well, I'm already started. Let's go ahead and get you guys up to speed. Guys, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave us a comment. We love the interaction, and if you find what we're doing helpful and can help somebody else, please give it a share. And don't forget, and I wish I could remember to mention it in every video, and shame on me for not, but I've got a really good friend out there, two of them actually, that are doing YouTube channels and doing YouTube videos, and they've been doing it a lot longer than me. But these guys, man, the knowledge they've got, if I could have their knowledge and experience, I would burn all of mine. Hillbilly RV, you need to go watch Hillbilly RV. Over 600 videos that he has put out over the years, and man, he's done it all. I can't think of anything that I couldn't probably find a video that he's done. The other one is Shelburne RV out of beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. And he's not so much a step-by-step, this is how you do it kind of a video, more of a overview of the RV repair business. You know, he runs a shop, he runs a mobile side. He is the expert in Coleman basement air conditioners. And man, he has been such a good friend to me, helping me with basement airs and teaching me, training me, had me come out, let me spend a week with him, learn how the basement airs work and how to fix them, and just fantastic guys, man. And to think that I met him through YouTube, I'm very grateful for those two guys, and I want you guys to check them out because you'll see what I'm talking about. Enough chit chat, let's get started. Again, already started. This here is the old motor, already taken it out. This is a Dometic Brisk Air 2, and when I showed up, I could spin the fan and it would spin, and then it would just stop. And then you can feel the bearings in there. Normally you want it to be smooth like a roller skateboard wheel. Yeah, but the bearings inside of this have decided that they're going to take the eternal coffee break. So we had a new motor over there at the shop, and I snatched one of those up and a couple RV airflows. He would like a couple of those installed. So anyway, I'm already on the roof. I've already got the new motor in the unit. I've got it half wired in, not fully installed. I don't have the fans on it yet, and I was like, oh, man, why didn't I remember to go get the camera out? But you're gonna watch me put it together, and so if you need to know how to take it out, just reverse everything that I'm doing. So let's go climb a ladder, let's get on top of this fifth wheel, and I'm gonna let you guys watch me finish installing the new motor, and then we'll give it a test run and put in a couple RV airflows. Let's go. Just as an aside, apparently back in the I don't know, 12 years ago, Dicor makes rubber membranes for roofs, and this membrane that I'm standing on is actually rubber. It's EPDM rubber. Well, apparently Dicor had a bad run of them, and it's not so much the rubber that's bad as it is the paint that they put on the rubber. So I'm on top of a 2016 Grand Design Reflection, and the rubber is tan, kind of a light tan sand color. All that colorant is just melting. So when I walk around this roof, I'm leaving footprints everywhere I go. If I get down on my knees, I'm leaving knee prints, and then of course the tips of my shoes, the knees on my pants, and my belt buckle. It's all got Dicor rubber roof paint on them now. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Hopefully it'll come through on the camera all right. As you can see, footprint. And it's just everywhere I walk, there are these footprints. And over here is where I was laying down on the roof earlier. As I was helping the customer get his fabric on his awning readjusted. And yeah, I mean, I hope that comes through on the camera. But there ain't nothing you can do about it except replace the rubber. I've talked to Dicor about it. Dicor says, well, functionally, there's nothing wrong with the roof. It's keeping the water out. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's just the colorant's coming off. But man, what a mess. It's all over the tips of my shoes. It's all over my pants. My shirt. It's just a mess. But anyhow, that's just an aside. I know there's going to be other folks out there who know exactly what I'm talking about. And anyhow, Dicor says don't worry about it. So anyway, here's our brisk air. We're going to go ahead and finish this install. I brought up a little propane torch with me because I've used some heat shrink butt connectors for the motor wires. And it's gonna heat those up so we can seal the wires up. But the new motor comes with these little pin connectors in them. And ideally, what I guess the manufacturer wants you to do is to pull the old pins out of your umbilical cord right here. I have gone out and bought the pin removal tool, and it's got all kinds of pin removal tools on a one ring. I can't get those wires to come out of that plug, try as I might. So what we do is we cut the wires, cut these off the new motor, and then just butt connect them into the wires that are into the umbilical cord. Haven't had a call back yet. It's pretty small gauge wire. It looks like maybe about 14 gauge wire. Just butt connect those guys in. The rest of the wires for the capacitor, and all that, they've got connectors on it. That's not a big deal. Got a ring terminal for the ground wire, a couple flag terminals for the capacitor. But let me show you how this, hopefully I can show you. So when you take off the old motor, you just take your nuts off here, and they're small guys. What size socket did I use? 8mm socket. Takes these 4 nuts off, and then you can flip that motor up, and you got your 2 brown and white cap wires that run off that way through that hole, and then your motor power wires run through this hole down here and over here, and then your ground wire just runs through that hole, and just screws into the casing over there. That's how the motor comes out. And it just sits back, after you get it wired in. After you run your wires, you can just set that right back down on those 4 screws. Each screw gets a washer. Each screw gets a nylon nut. We'll put 4 of those on, tighten those up. And as far as the fans go, Dometic, in all of their wisdom, does not leave a hole anywhere in the squirrel cage for you to get at this clamp here, which tightens onto this D shaft. But what you're going to do is, you can see the middle of the squirrel cage is D-shaped, so you're just going to line it up with the D shape of the shaft over here, and you can see the back edge of the shaft. It only lets that fan blade go on so far, you know, so just scoot it on to the end of the D, put your clamp on over this down here, and I can't remember, I'll figure it out in a minute how that goes on there, but this clamp goes on here, and then you just tighten up that screw, and that holds that onto that shaft. Condenser fans the same way. You can see it's got the screw on the middle there. You loosen that up and it just slides right off. Right now we could go ahead and slide it back on. So, you know, just line up your shapes there, scoot it back to here, and Dometic leaves you a gap on this fan blade to get a tool on there to tighten that up. Why they couldn't do it on a squirrel cage, I don't know. But fan on, 4 nuts and washers, wires on your cap, your ground wire on the metal box over here, the motor power wires, connect them in to your umbilical cord, and that's the long and the short of it right there. But anyhow, let's get started. I'm just going to let you watch. I'm going to see if I can't find you some place to sit where you can watch me do what I do. A little breezy up here at the moment. Hopefully the breeze won't blow the camera over. But anyway, let me find a place to put you. Alright, I got my wires. Took the torch to them. Got them shrunk up. So now we've got some weather resistance here on these, and obviously some strain relief now, because these guys have shrunk up around the insulation of the wires. That made them a lot stronger of a connection. So we'll just tuck these guys back in here and coil all this back up, zip tie that, coil all this back up, zip tie that back together, and then we'll get started on the other side. Got that clamp on there. All I got to do now is tighten it up. And as you can see, that's easier said than done. First, I'll just stick the socket in and just tighten it up by finger, and then I'll get my miniature ratchet in there, finish it off. And Dometic does you no favors. You have to use like a micro miniature ratchet to get in there. I don't know. If there's a better way, somebody tell me about it. We're going to tighten up the condenser fan now. Want to give it a free spin, make sure it's not rubbing nothing. Squirrel cage is a little wobbly. A lot of that has to do with the fact that it's made in plastic. But as long as it's not rubbing nothing. I got that clamp on straight. D shaft is on straight, so it's plastic. All right, we're gonna go ahead and I did check the capacitor for any of those who were curious. I pulled all the wires off, checked that capacitor, and it was absolutely in spec for compressor and fan. So we were just looking at a bad fan motor today. So let me go ahead and finish installing this. Here's those green grounds I was telling you about. Here's our wire through the two rings there, and it screws right on to the frame here. Of course, all of our white wires are our neutral wires, and all the white wires go onto the 4 prongs of the capacitor. That's the neutral. And this long one with the red end is our new motor. And then fan goes on, the fan motor goes on to the 2-prong part of the capacitor, and it'll say fan stamped in the metal next to it. And then lastly, our red wire, which is compressor. And he goes onto the 3-prong part of the compressor, and it'll say stamped next to it in the metal HERM, H-E-R-M. That's for the compressor. Now Dometic had these wires all zip tied up, so I'm gonna see if I can't zip tie some wires up. And it's really just the fan wires that are long and unwieldy. Alright, and there, this side is wired up. So we've got both sides wired up. Dometic has the capacitor and all this inside of this box. And it's just 2 little 5/16 hex heads that hold that box on. Washers, and then our 4 nylon lock nuts. Okay guys, and as far as the motor install, that's all you do. 4 nuts off, fans off, do your wiring for the new motor, fans back on, nuts on. The only thing I can say to be watchful of is how they run the original wiring. You know, just run it back the way that Dometic did it. You know, that's the only thing you gotta be watchful of. You know, that's the ground wire for the motor. You know, it runs through the hole under this bracket, this bracket into the box, screws to the wall with that other ground wire. I mean, obviously watch your capacitor wires, make sure you got that wired up right. Make sure nothing's rubbing or scrubbing, everything's good here. So we're going to take umbilical cord, plug it back into the control box, ask the customer to turn on the breaker and turn the unit on, and we will confirm if we've got a good repair or not.
Okay, so we got fan, compressor just turned on. We've got a working unit again, guys. Okay, well, with that being said, we're going to go downstairs and we're going to take down a couple ceiling assemblies and install a couple RV airflows for him. That'll just absolutely make his HVAC setup here light years better. That RV airflow block really is worth its weight in gold. Air conditioners, they don't have to work nearly as hard. Move, you know, twice as much air, get the unit cooled down quicker, and it can actually shut off and be satisfied during a, you know, 90-95 degree day. It's amazing. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope that you found it helpful. If you guys are going to be at the Hershey show here in a couple weeks, look for us. We're going to be there. We're going to be hanging out with Hillbilly a little bit, and you know, if you see us, say hi. It'd be cool to meet some of you guys out there, you know, put a face to the name, all that. But for you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and we'll see you on the next video, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.